Hello everybody and welcome to my webinar on how I made 560,000 selling on Amazon. Let me just check you can all hear me. Yep. Okay, looks good. So let's get on with it. So yeah, I only started with £100 as you saw at the start video that you saw before you signed up to this webinar. We went through the first few weeks of sales. And obviously you could see that I only started with 20 units to start with. They sold quick and it escalated very fast from there. So I mean, this business is one of the biggest opportunities at the moment, I think, and one of the easiest, as you'll see during this presentation. I mean, the benefits of selling on Amazon are insane at the moment, which I guess is why they're making so much money. They're doing something right, you know. So let's jump right in. So let's talk about why we want to sell on Amazon versus, say, selling on your own website or your own store. Because there has got to be some good reasons. So they already have an audience, okay? So they did over 100 billion in sales last year. All you have to do is get your product in front of that audience. So for example, if you're selling on your own website, say Shopify, or you get your own website developed, you're going to have to find the audience from somewhere, you know. They're not just going to start coming to your website every day. So you've got to build that audience, which can take years. I mean, some of these big companies that you see now, some of them now sell on their own website, yeah, but a lot of them leveraged Amazon at least to start and then kind of took that audience and pointed it towards their own sales channel, which as an end game is a great idea. But to start with, Amazon already has an audience, so let's use that audience to our advantage. Now, when someone searches on Amazon, they are actually buyers for a product. So if I go to Amazon and I search, say, meat thermometer, I'm actually looking to buy that product. If I search meat thermometer on Google, I'm not looking to buy that product. I might be looking for some reviews. I might be looking for some more information, whether they're any good or not. Looking at different prices of them. If I search on Google or anywhere else, I'm not necessarily looking to buy it straight away. If you're searching Amazon for meat thermometer, you can be pretty damn sure that person's looking to buy one. So if you come up when they're searching that item, you've got a great chance of you getting the sale. So that is one of the biggest things on Amazon. So for instance, say I get 100 views on my product today on Amazon. That's worth so much more than 100 views on your website, because 100 views on your website, many people just want information or checking you out or researching or all that kind of thing. But 100 views on Amazon, that could be 20 sales if you're converting pretty well. And that is pretty realistic, you know. So, you don't need any previous business experience to sell on Amazon. I mean, they pretty much take care of everything you need. The only thing I would say is when you start getting a lot of sales coming in and it starts expanding, you're probably going to need an accountant, to be honest, to just make sure everything's in check. But I mean, Amazon give you all the figures that you need, all the spreadsheets, all the documents, everything like that. So I mean, if you don't have any previous business experience up to now, I didn't when I started. I was working as a software developer 9 to 5 every day. So this was a totally new venture for me. But as I said, I only started with £100, so it really wasn't a big thing for me. And another big one, you don't need any staff for this. As you'll see, we use Fulfillment by Amazon, and we'll go over that in a minute, what exactly that is and how we're going to leverage that. But up to now, I still don't have a single person on my staff. I've done it all myself up to now. I mean, this business model pretty much runs itself. So I mean, I've ran it, doing it half an hour a day while I was on holiday. I've done it while I was working at my old job, 9 to 5, like in between quiet times. I would just check messages, check things were running smoothly, and that's pretty much it. Once you've got it all up and running, it's very, very automated, which is one of the major advantages, as we'll see in a minute. So yeah, no staff, so there's no outsourcing costs there. There's no, like, you know, salaries being paid out every month out of your money, so that is great. So, why is this a great business model at the moment? So, as I just said, Fulfillment by Amazon is what we'll be using. You'll hear it called FBA as well. So basically what FBA is, you get your products made, which we'll cover soon, and then you send them directly to Amazon's warehouse. And basically Amazon will then store all of your products. And when someone buys them from Amazon.com or Amazon.co.uk or any of the Amazons, they'll go to their warehouse, pick your item, package it, and send it straight out to the customer. So, quick question there. Jane is saying, can you do your own fulfillment? Yes, you can use your own fulfillment if you like. You can go down to the post office every day or use a fulfillment company if you've already got one, that's fine. You can do that, and people do it on Amazon and it works. But fulfillment by Amazon, I mean, is totally automated. And, I mean, I've had no problems with it. They're very good. And the thing is with Amazon, if they fulfill it for you and anything goes wrong, if anything gets lost, if something goes wrong with the delivery, Amazon won't blame you. They'll take full responsibility for that, which is very good. So it doesn't hurt your statistics on Amazon. It doesn't count against you. If a customer complains, Amazon will be the one to apologize and sort that out with the customer. So that is, I mean, that's great. You won't get in trouble with Amazon if you're using them that way. So Amazon also deal with returns and refunds. So anything goes wrong, the customer's dealing directly with Amazon. So again, you really don't have to do much there. It's all automated on your behalf. You'll get the odd message from a customer saying, hey, where do I return this? What do I do? And then you can just direct them and say, look, go talk to Amazon. We use FBA, so they're in charge of all of that. And again, we'll cover this in detail later. Excuse me. So we said that you can send your product straight to the Amazon warehouse. So I mean, once you start getting more and more products, most of the time you get your products made by the manufacturer, and we'll see how to find a good manufacturer later, and they will send the products straight from there, from where they are, straight to the Amazon warehouse. And all you have to do there is provide them the labels, which are very easy to sort out on Amazon. You just put in the units, like the product that you're sending, the amount of units. Amazon give you a label to print off. You send that label straight to your manufacturer, and they'll send your product straight to the Amazon warehouse. So half the time I don't see my products. I don't have them hanging around my house. I don't have a storage facility. I don't need any of that. Like, Amazon will sort all of that out for you. And that's a fantastic business model already right there. But the big one as well is Amazon will oftentimes ship your product out cheaper than you could yourself, which is pretty insane. But they want control of everything at the moment, so they can do that very well. I mean, I think my product costs me $2.80 for a small parcel from the post office to go and send. And not bad, you know, that's quite good. But Amazon themselves will go to their warehouse, pick it, pack it, put the labels on, send it out to the customer for £2.10. So, in fact, using FBA saves me 70p every time I sell one. And I don't have the hassle of going down the post office to do, like, doing all the packaging myself, like printing all the labels. And as we're seeing, once you start doing big figures every month, which I'm sure you will, the last thing you want to be doing is going down with a huge bag of parcels every day to the post office. And I have done that sometimes, you know. There are times where, especially when you're starting, if you're only doing 10 units, then it may be better just to post them at the post office yourself. But once you start doing any kind of volume, going FBA is a real no-brainer there. Okay, so private labeling. So this is what we're going to be doing. So private labeling allows you to add your brand and packaging to an existing product. So say we were looking at the meat thermometer. We would find a place that sells meat thermometers, like unbranded. So a product like that would be great to get from China. We'll go over where to source them later, but we'll just say that for now. You would then give that manufacturer your labels, your branding, and they would package that in a box with your brand on, with your labeling. They may etch the design into the actual, say, meat thermometer, so your brand would actually be like burnt onto it, for instance, or you know, that's called stenciled onto it. It depends. Normally they do a lot of different options. So sometimes the product will just be unbranded, and you can get it in a box with your brand on. So that would be like the cheapest option. Then they would like etch your design into the onto the plastic, for example. So you might pay like 10p extra per unit for that. And Obviously, as you make sales and as it goes on, you can start going for these more expensive options, but to start, like having the device in a box is fine. So the majority of manufacturers will label and package your product for you. This is definitely what you'll be looking for. I mean, you wouldn't want to, unless it's a lot cheaper to do it, you wouldn't really want to buy the units from a manufacturer, get them, then have to send them somewhere else to label and package and design, etc. But the majority of manufacturers now, especially in China, are already very, very familiar with this model. So they'll just ask you for your labels, ask you for your designs, and they'll actually sort it all out. So you will then have a fully branded product in a box, or however you want it packaged, your design on it, and it would look like it was totally yours. You know, it would look like you've got this made customly, but really the product already existed, you've just got your brand on it. And this is what a lot of products are on Amazon, and they're a way to separate yourselves out from the others. They normally have better designed ones that are more expensive, but they're obviously worth it. And when I say more expensive, we're talking for a physical object probably 10, 20p extra a unit. It's not very much. So I would always say go with the highest quality one you can. So yeah, with the private labeling model, this means you can have much lower MOQs. MOQs being minimum order quantities. So if you're getting, say, a custom product made that you've thought of that doesn't exist on the market yet, if you go to a manufacturer and ask them to make that, they're going to ask you to order 10,000, 100,000 units, you know. So, I mean, then you're going to need 100 grand to start the company, which is obviously not what we're looking for here. So this is why I was able to start my company for so cheap. Like, I ordered the 20 units. The product already existed. I gave them my labels. They branded them. They put the labels around the bottle. And there you go. You know, I've got a product there. I've ordered 20 units. And because they already exist, if all they're doing is printing a label off, then they'll let you do 20 units, 50 units, 100 units. That's no problem. So private labeling really is the way to go at the moment. You'll see, as we look for an actual product, a good one to copy, which is what we'll be looking to do at the start. Find a product that's already selling well, and then look where we can source it for a good price, and then we'll brand it with our own brand. And obviously we can test the market very, very easily. 20 units, 50 units. It's going to be very, very cheap to buy something like that. So say a meat thermometer, a physical object, anything like that, you're probably talking $2, $3, £2, £3 from China per unit. So if you order 20 units, we're talking 50, 60 quid. And that's how you are actually able to start this business for so cheap. So let's go to the next page. So as I just mentioned briefly there, we're going to, at the start, stick to what is already selling, okay? So it's good to stick to an area of experience in, if you can, but you can teach yourself if you haven't. When I started, I didn't have any experience in the product that I was selling. I looked on Amazon, found a product that was selling well, and then looked where to source it and branded it myself, you know, exactly as we just talked about by private labeling. So I actually had to teach myself everything about that product. I mean, the good advantage is if you already have experience in an area, you already know what the customer wants. You already know good changes, designs, things to look for in the product. So you can do it if you don't, but it will make your job a lot easier. And when you come to explaining the product, like the pricing of the product, the advantages, disadvantages, things like that, like you will already know because either you've used similar objects, similar products, or you know about them, you know. So that would definitely be a good thing if you can. But again, if you don't have any experience, fine. Just teach yourself, put yourself in the customer's shoes. So we're going to be looking for products that meet certain criteria, and as I said, that are already selling very well on Amazon. So we'll look in the top rankings of Amazon. And there are advanced ways to do this. There are programs to use, websites that do this for you. But I'm going to show you the easy way in this webinar. So we're going to get a product that's already selling well, and then we're going to brand it ourselves. So you can branch out later to more unique and known products, but while you're starting out, stick to what works, you know. So once you've got a couple of products out and they're each selling 10, 20 units a day and you're making some money, then yeah, branch out to something more unique that you think your audience will like. Maybe something that doesn't exist on Amazon yet. But to start with, there's no way you're going to be able to do that starting with £100. People aren't going to know your brand. People aren't going to know your product. It's not already on there. So unless they're already looking for a product on there and you found a gap, then that's great. But for this model, you really don't need to find a gap in the market. We're just going to copy something that works. So for instance, as we've been talking about throughout this presentation, a meat thermometer, like people want that product already. You know, people are looking on Amazon to buy that product. So if you come up when they search that product, you will get sales. Like, there's no way you can't. And we'll figure out how to make your product stand out over other people's products soon. But I hope you're getting this business model and how it works. Like later on, yeah, once you've got 2-3 products, making some decent money, then go to a unique product, make your own product. Then you can do all that. You've got the income behind you to do it. But to start with, stick to what's already selling, and that'll make your life a lot easier and a lot cheaper to start. So the product criteria. So this is what we're going to be looking for in a product on Amazon to make it suitable for us to sell. So we're going to want it to be small. So if the object's small, basically when Amazon store your products in their warehouse, they will charge you a fee every month. And it's very, very cheap. It's like per square foot or something like that. And they charge you a very cheap, like, monetary value for that. To be honest, I don't know exactly how much it is for mine, because I don't really notice it, to be honest. Very, very cheap. So obviously a smaller object, if it's a small box and you can fit 50 units in that box, then your storage fees are going to be much cheaper. So that'll be the first thing to look for. Second thing to look for, we're going to want that object to be light, especially if you're shipping from China. So a lot of physical products now are made in China. They are made like in your country too, if you're not in China. But this is why China is such a big giant at the moment, because they're making things so much cheaper than you'll be able to get locally. So the odds are, if it's a physical product, you'll be looking to get it from China. And if it's light, that means the shipping fees are going to be much, much, much cheaper. Also, if it's a light object, you're going to be able to ship the units via air sometimes if it's worth it, which means you're going to get them within a week instead of on a boat, which could take a month. The boat's going to be like ridiculously cheaper. But for instance, if you're going to get 10, 20 units to start off with, you're probably not going to want to wait a month to 6 weeks to get those units, because you're going to want to test this, get it on Amazon, see if it sells. If it does, sorted, then you can get like a much bigger order and send it by boat, send another few by air, so you've always got units coming in, which will be fine. So yeah, you're going to want the object to be light. And then we're going to look for sales for more than £10, $10, or at least around that ballpark. Say 8 to 12 is a good ballpark. I think mine sells for about 12 per unit, and I source them for about 2. So that leaves a good profit margin. So if you want to expand, you can start doing advertising and things like that, and you'll have money to throw at that, which will be fine. So those are the main 3 criteria. If we can find an object on Amazon that meets those 3 criteria, then we'll be looking pretty good, you know. So how to determine a good product to sell. So if you're watching this webinar and you already have your own product to sell, then I would still follow the process we're going to do now. Check for competitors or at least similar products, and I'll show you how to check their rankings, because you might have a product that you think's amazing, you think's great, you've got good feedback on, but with this model we're going to want people to already be buying like a similar product on Amazon, so we know that people are at least looking for that product. So even if you've got your own product to sell, this system's still going to work, but you just want to do some market research first. Just check that there are people that actually do really want the product. They're at least buying something similar to what you're offering. I mean, your product might be 10 times better, sure, but if the one that's similar is already selling well, then you can be pretty sure that yours is going to dominate the market. So that's great. But for most of us, copying this will be copying a product that already exists. So we're going to find how to determine a good selling product. And just to mention here, we're looking to build a brand. we're not looking just for one product, one hit wonder, you know. We're not looking to find a product that sells well now, but in 6 months is gone, and then you're left with nothing, you know. So you want to say, so a big one is like the yoga mat, say. So you source a yoga mat, it's cheap from China, you send it, sells for a good price, and then once you've got that selling, you can then branch out. So you can get yoga towels, like yoga gowns, like, well, whatever you can think of. Yoga steps. I don't really know much about yoga, to be honest, but you can imagine that. So then you can have like 10 products, and all your customers are coming back to your brand to get their next product. So we are looking to build a brand on Amazon, not just a one-hit wonder product. So when you're actually looking through the rankings on Amazon for different products that you might think will be successful, think about how you could build a brand around that, like offering advice, articles, different kinds of products that will match with that one that you're already selling. And that's how you'll really explode your company. If you're thinking just in terms of one product, then those companies that are bigger brands, that have more products, like the customers are going to be going back to them because they've got new offerings coming out all the time. They've got similar products that, like, the companies know those people want, because if you've already bought a yoga towel, you're into yoga. So if you release another 5 products to do with yoga that year, it's a no-brainer that those same customers are going to come back and buy them. As long as your product is good, of course. So let's have a look on Amazon. And we can see how to determine whether a product is going to sell well. So then we can see if it's a good one that we want to copy. So let's close this down. So you may notice I do most of my stuff on Amazon UK. That's because I am in the UK. I started on the UK one, so it's where most of my sales have been. That being said, though, I do sell on the European Amazons as well. Amazon Germany, France, Spain, and some on Amazon.com as well, so the US one. So they're all exactly the same. They all work the same way. In fact, their .com is much bigger. So I've done over 500,000 on the UK. Quite a lot on the others as well, but not close to that because I started about a year in advance on the UK one. So those sales are still a lot bigger. A lot of you, though, if you're in the US, will probably start on Amazon.com. So that's fine as well. I mean, if you get a good selling product there, your sales can be like 5 times bigger. So you can earn that money a lot quicker. And as the European ones are actually becoming much bigger now as well. You'll find like the Spanish one's quite new. There's not as much competition, for example. So they're all pretty good. I mean, there's Japan as well, Canada. I think some other new ones as well. I think there's Indian one now. So wherever you are, you've got pretty much a local Amazon you can do. Or you can sell on any of them, you know. I follow the same business model. Amazon.com. I found a supplier there that will ship to the Amazon.com warehouse. So my products there are still in the US, even though I'm not. Same with the Germany, France, Spain. They're in Amazon's warehouses in those countries. So they're actually still shipping the products locally to those customers. So if someone buys in Spain, they're shipping it from Spain. So the costs to me are still pretty much the same as if someone bought from the UK and I shipped it, because I'm not shipping it from the UK to Spain, for example. So that's fantastic. So let me just show you how I found this. So if you just search on Google Amazon bestsellers, you'll come to this page. So you can go through all the different departments. So it's like health and personal care, kitchen and home, all the different departments that are selling different kinds of products. So I've just got into kitchen and home, cooking and dining. So these are the best selling in cooking and dining. All of these will be selling 50, 100 units a day, or more. This is on the UK at least. On the Amazon.com again, that'll be much bigger volumes. But anything in these top, even in the top 100 or so, 500 or so, will all sell very, very well. So what I've been talking about is the meat thermometer. So say this one, it's number 16 in the whole of kitchen. So we're looking for a decent price, $8.99. It's small, folds up, it's light obviously, So you can imagine how many of these you'd fit in a normal size cargo box, like hundreds. So the storage fees are going to be cheap. You're going to be able to ship them for cheap. So that's looking pretty good. And I said over £10, but £9 pretty close. And this is the best seller in the whole of meat thermometers. And it'd be very easy to get something very similar to this. Very cheap. Get your own brand down there. So say it's Lawrence's Kitchenware, for instance. You could have that branded down there with your little logo. No problem. So these are the images the person's uploaded. Images are very, very important on Amazon. One of the biggest determining factors. These images are good. It's probably why this is the best seller. It's not necessarily the best product, you know. It's very simple. Does the job. But I can guarantee there'll be better products probably on there that are not getting any attention. Maybe because the images are bad. Maybe because the text is bad. Many different reasons. So, in this case, it's obvious this is a big seller because it tells you it's the #1 bestseller. But if we was to want to just search for an item, so say you've got an item already in mind, you search Amazon for it. So, meat thermometer. And you will get all the meat thermometers come up. So there's another bestseller there, $10.99. And you see what's interesting is $2.82. And it's not a bestseller. £4 is not a bestseller. So oftentimes, just raising your price makes your item look a lot more premium. In actual fact, this might actually be a better, meat thermometer than this one. But the pricing, the pictures, the text, obviously someone on Amazon can't actually hold and see your product. So that's why the text and the images are so important. If this one looks better digitally, that's the one you're going to buy, even though it's more expensive. Everything here makes that look a better product than this one. Even the reviews. This has only got 95 reviews on it. 96, sorry. This one's got 1,600 reviews. So it's obviously been around a lot longer. This might be an actual branded one, I'm not sure. It's much, much cheaper. And you can see here 16 people are selling it, so I would say that is, and that's been around a long, long time. But then this one comes along, and the one we just looked at, and is outselling them. Here we go again. And as you can see, there's no real big branded meat thermometer that's dominating this area. You know, they're all private labels. They're all ones that people have done exactly what we've been talking about. Lightly sourced them from China. And then just got their own brand stuck on them. So, once you've got one, click on it. And then we're going to scroll down to around this area. Additional information. Because sometimes be in different places, like on Amazon.com, it's sometimes around here. But you'll find it. And then you'll see the bestsellers rank, or BSR, it's called. You'll see that referenced as that sometimes. So, this is the one you'd be looking at. Yes, it's #1 in meat thermometers, we know that. But how much, like the lower number here, the better. So this is 53 in kitchen and home. So in this case, 53 means that item is selling an insane amount a day. Anything under 2,000, say, is selling 5-10 units a day. Anything under 100 is probably selling 50 to 100 a day or over. Especially on Amazon.com, easily over 100 a day. Especially in kitchen and home as well, it's a very big category. So anything under 2,000 in its main category. So if you're in bathroom, if it's under 2,000, it's worth giving it a shot. So that's how you would find if a product's worth selling, whether it's already selling well. So we can look through the other meat thermometers and see what's selling well. I mean, this is the 20th one. Doesn't look very good. I can't imagine this would be selling that well. Yeah, 11,000. So it'll sell a couple of units a day maybe still. So it's still not bad. It was still bringing money. But obviously you'd make yours look a lot better than this. We'll go over how you can do that. But I mean, compared to that other one that we looked at, you can see why this isn't selling as well. Though we didn't really read through the text, but you can see that's not really very well organised. You can use HTML to make this look better, so have bold, underlining, split it into paragraphs at least. And they have a few different ones. But yeah, none of them look great. So you can see why that's getting dominated by ones like this. And when you go through the images on this one, you can definitely see the difference. Even though, again, the product might not be as good. But it's a no-brainer for me that I would buy this one over that other one. And as I said there, they've actually organised their text. Got bold things. Focused on benefits, etc. Normal marketing stuff. So, I mean, as long as you're, like, look at what you're going to be competing with. Think, can you get images like this done? Yes, you can. I'll show you where to do that. Normally, your manufacturers will even supply you, like, mock-ups and images. But if they don't, I'll show you where you can get them very cheap. My manufacturer supplied me all my images for me for free, just because I bought with them. So they supplied me with things like this, already done, and they already look great. If they don't use them, obviously. Get your own made. Yeah, so that's how we can find a product to source. So just search for whatever. Here's all the categories you've got there. Certain categories are gated. So, for instance, health and personal care, you have to go through certain hoops to get approved to sell in that category. So to start with, I would stick to ones that you don't need ungating for. For example, kitchen's a great one. And things like, the big one in this kind of area is a garlic press. Things like that, everyone looks for, you know, everyone needs that. So if you can sell a good garlic press, good images, get it for a good price, good text, you will compete with the big sellers, no problem. And if you can make yours look better and sound better, then you'll start stealing their sales. But anything in kitchen, they're all big sellers, you know, and I started selling in one of the most competitive items in one of the most competitive categories, which a lot of people warn against. But my idea was, I'd rather have a small slice of a huge pie than have a big slice of a small pie, you know. Like, I've got so much room to grow even now. And still, I'm not even anywhere near the biggest sellers in my category. But I don't need to, you know. I've made a lot of money just by stealing sales here and there, because it's such a huge competitive niche. So again, if you've already got a product, if it's already in a small niche, fine, go with it, try it out, try with 10 units, see if they sell. Again, we can see when this product started. So this is the bestseller, as we said. It's number 53 in kitchen and home. It could easily be doing 100 units a day of this product. So £9. So it's doing good revenue. And we can see here, it started on the 8th of April 2016. So it hasn't been around that long. You know, some of these products you'll see, they're bestsellers, they've been around 1 month, which is pretty much what happened to me. Like once you saw in that initial video I showed you, by the 3rd month I started doing over 1,000 units every week. And that's because one of mine hit number 1. And suddenly then it just explodes. And then also any other products you release then, if we look here, frequently bought together. And you'll see other people start to buy yours. And Amazon are upselling all the time, you know. They're showing you other related products. Customers who bought this also bought this. So as your brand becomes bigger on Amazon, your products, other products will start appearing here. You'll start getting more sales on them. So once one product hits bestseller, you're pretty much laughing then. All your products will get a lot more sales. So let's jump back. So yeah, we did that. So again, think about the branding. We're not just looking just to sell a meat thermometer. We're looking to build a kitchen brand in this case. So you might release a meat thermometer, a garlic press, for instance, maybe a fruit slicer. All strange things like that. Sell very well on Amazon, very cheap to get. So yeah, just keep that in mind. So let's source the product. Let's see where we can get it from. So places to look for a product that you've found, for instance, the meat thermometer. You can look locally and in your country, which if you can find, that's great. I mean, you won't have to wait for it to get delivered. You won't have to wait for shipping. You can normally go straight and visit the manufacturer, see if it's to your liking, see the products there and then. They're all fantastic advantages. And I have done it when I started. I got mine from the US actually, even though I'm in the UK. And they shipped them to me within a week. But then I started finding places which are much, much cheaper. But to start with, the price, as long as it's not breaking the bank, it's not a big deal. I mean, if you get a product and it's more expensive to buy 10 units of, then just remember that once it starts selling, you're going to be ordering 100 units, 1,000 units, and so on. So don't worry too much to start. If you can get it locally, and it's still a pretty good price, and you're breaking even or better, then go for it to start with, and then you can find cheaper places later on. But really, as you look around, you'll find, for physical products at least, getting them from China is that you can't really beat it. They make the product so much cheaper, and even with any customs costs or shipping costs, I mean, you're still laughing compared to getting them locally, and you'll see that as you look around. So Alibaba is the place to look for products from China. So if you're looking in your country or locally, just search for Google. So say meat thermometer, private label, UK, US, wherever you are. Check the prices out, see the companies. And oftentimes, if that is the case, you'll probably find they are getting the products from China and acting as a middleman. So they will be adding their own costs on top. But if that cost is not too big, it may be worth doing that just to start with, just until you've got a few units sold and you've proved the concept, which is what we're looking to do to start with. Because I mean, if you can get 20 units and it's going to cost you 50 quid, $50, if that product doesn't work, it's not the end of the world, you know. If they don't sell, well, to be honest, they will sell, but say it's only selling 1 unit every week or 1 unit every few days. Eventually you will get your money back, but of course we want bigger sales. So you want to find something that's working. And as long as you use good images, good text, you shouldn't have a problem with that. So let's have a look. Okay, so we'll just go over. So Alibaba is the place to look, which I'll show you in a minute, and we'll look for a meat thermometer. So what to look for in a supplier. We want them to be responsive. So if you send a supplier a message, I mean, most of mine is done through Skype and through email. So you don't want a supplier that's going to take, you know, a week to get back to you every time. So even if the prices are great, but you ask them a question and they're not getting back to you very quickly, I mean, that's not really what you want. That's not who you want to work with. I mean, you might have like an urgent issue come up. You send them an email, they don't get back to you for a week. That's useless, and that can really hurt your business. So you want them to be responsive. To start with, you can send, you know, 10, 20 suppliers a message. See which ones come back to you first, and that'll put a tick in their boxes. Most of them are pretty good, to be honest. And if they do take a little bit longer, say a day or two, that's not too bad. That might mean the company's actually better because they're a lot busier. If they're coming back to you within 10 minutes, maybe they might have a lot of staff. They might be a good company, you never know. So just keep that in mind. Use a bit of common sense with that. They want to be reliable. So obviously as you work with the suppliers more and more, maybe you'll start to see some cracks in them. Maybe you'll start to see certain things going wrong. They're making mistakes. That'll be the time to switch supplier or look for a new one. But it depends on the scale of the mistake, you know. I've had a supplier make some small mistakes. It's not a big deal. They apologise to me. We sort it out. They might give you a discount for the next order, something like that. That kind of stuff all shows they're a good supplier. They're not meaning to do that, so bear that in mind. They're knowledgeable. This is a big one. Especially selling certain products, they have to have certain tests, for example. Make sure they're safe, things like that. The suppliers should know all this. They should be able to provide you with the documentation, because at the end of the day, they're making the product. You know, all you're doing is branding it. So you're not really responsible as a manufacturer for the quality, etc. Yes, it'd be your product, and the customers are thinking it's yours at the end of the day. So you want to make sure that you've got all the documentation to back everything up, back up all your claims, all the relevant tests, any that are required, for example, any patents that are there. And just look for a supplier that's generally knowledgeable about what they sell. You don't want a supplier that doesn't really know much about what they're selling. I mean, that shows that they're not really experienced in that area. You're probably going to find other suppliers that are much, much better. So again, keep that in mind. Look for a supplier that does samples. It's really a no-brainer. If a company says they're not going to do samples, they're only going to send you 500 units at a time. Like, don't do it. I mean, there's no point. The units are going to be more expensive if you order less, of course. If you're only ordering 10 units, firstly, they may not put your brand on, say, the item, for example. They won't etch it on for that. It's not worth it for them to do that, which is fine. They'll probably still brand your box for you. That's fine. But just tell them, when you message these suppliers, we're going to say, look, we're going to act as if we are a bigger company than we are. You don't need to tell them you're just starting out. Say, look, I'm looking for a good supplier for this item. I'm going to need to see some samples from you. And they'll normally give you a good cost for, say, 5, 10 units. And you can actually then use those 5, 10, 20 units to sell on Amazon. And then that will prove your concepts. Then if their minimum order quantity is 100 units, or even 200 units or more, once you know 10 or 20 have sold quick, it's much less of a burden to then order 100 units, 200 units. You at least know within a month you're going to have your money back, so that's no problem. So let's take a look at a few suppliers. So let's go to Alibaba. So this is Alibaba. So if we search meat thermometer. Okay. So as you can see, they're very similar to the ones we saw on Amazon. So this one's 200 pieces minimum order, $4 a piece. So 200 is quite a lot. You can still message this one, for example. Like 330 transactions have gone through, 92% response rate. You can still message them, ask if they'll do a smaller sample unit. Most times they will. If you act like you are, really serious about it, say I just need to see a sample, then I've got no problem ordering the 200 units. Oftentimes they'll be fine with that. So you've got all these different ones. So for instance, here you go, 1 piece minimum order. So they'll let you order 10. That'll be the more expensive price per unit, but they'll order 10 at that price, 20 at that price. You're still talking less than $50 for 10, so you can easily test the market as we spoke about. See if those 10 units sell, no problem. And so on. So these are under products. We can also go under suppliers. So this is where you'd actually go to order more units. So if you was ordering 1,000 at a time, 500 at a time, these are the big boys that will actually be able to, brand the actual product, things like that, box it for you, do all of that. So you can look at the revenues of the companies. So as you can see, all these are in China. I didn't search China. It's just the only place that most people are going to go to get these. And they all do different kinds of designs, different shapes. And then you can just contact the supplier, message them. Just say, yeah, I'm interested in this product. Can you give me a quote for blah, blah, blah. So you can say things like, I'm going to look to order 500 units, 1,000 units in the future, but I'd love to see a sample of 20 units to start with to see if your product's good. And then look for the things we've spoke about. So how responsive are they? How reliable are they? Are they knowledgeable? Oftentimes they'll give you like electronic magazines and stuff with all their products, all their advantages, all the things that make their products better than other products, for instance. And as you can see, they've already got the mock-ups, a lot of them, pictures you can use. So if you was to sell this product, for example, most times they'd give you this image, give you all this, without their branding, of course. And you can use these directly on Amazon. And already, if you've got this image, that looks much better than that other one that wasn't selling very well that we looked at. And that's going to make you sell more than that one at least. But of course, the better images are, the more you're going to compete with that big seller that we was looking at. So yeah, look, $1 to $5 a piece. So once you start ordering 500,000 pieces, you'll be able to get it down to $1 or $2 easily per unit. And then that's when you start making the bigger money. So yeah. There's some pictures of their team. See, so even though it says up there 500 unit MOQ, usually speaking we don't set an MOQ since we want to do business with everyone basically. So even though they've got that there, they'll probably will sell you 20 units, 50 units, but then the prices will go up. So as we spoke about, they'll send by sea or air. So to start with, if you get it by air, that's great. You'll have the product in a few days. Get it delivered to you. And if it's cheap, just order one of each, if they will do that for you. So go through a few different suppliers, order one product, maybe try 3, 5 different suppliers out. Actually try the products out, see what you think. Like look for actually the best quality product, and then match up that with the best price, and then find the best overall product for that. Because you may get the product, it's cheap, it's crap, it falls apart. You know, that's no good. You don't really want that. You're just going to end up with a load of negative reviews on Amazon. And then people aren't going to trust your brand. They're not going to come back to you if your product breaks straight away. So you're going to look for a good quality one as well. Again, when you contact these, they'll give you probably 10 different meat thermometers they sell, different prices. So you can try different ones, different things. And yeah, so we'll go through different ones, message them all. Get maybe one sample from each. And then when you found one that you like, get 20 of them. And get them delivered to you. And that's that. So let's go back to the presentation. So we went through that. So once we've found a good few suppliers, pretty much covered this already, but again, ask for samples, ask for their MOQs, but they're probably going to sell you 20, 10 to start with. Most of them will be happy just to charge more per unit and have a lower MOQ, but especially when you want your brand etched onto the actual unit or custom designed boxes, things like that, they will have MOQs for that. They're not going to make you 10 boxes because they're going to have to sort all their printers out, all things like that. They're not going to do it just for 10 units. So they might say, if you order over 100 units, then we'll do that etching for you, create your boxes. If you order 500 units, we'll do this for you, blah, blah, blah. So that would just be things to think about for the future. To start with, I mean, you don't actually need your brand even on it. Like, when the person goes on Amazon, they'll see your images, they'll see your brand. Like, it'll look branded to them. Like, it's not going to look like an unbranded product. And, yeah, it might just come in a plain white box, which isn't great at the end of the day. But if you're just selling the first 20, 50 units just to see if they sell, just to get that money back, then that's no problem. If those first 20 people get it in a white box, so what, you know, that's fine. Once that's done, then you can start getting your boxes designed, getting your icons etched into the actual unit, and then for the next 500, you can be looking pretty hot product. So we briefly covered air versus boat shipping. So boat is going to be, you know, sometimes it takes 5-6 weeks to get it from China to you. But then it's going to be dirt cheap compared to air. But most times air is going to be, if you're only ordering 10 units, 20 units, 50 units, especially if they're small, like those meat thermometers, you can fit 50 units in a small box, no problem. You can get them sent over to you by air, and then when you start ordering, you know, 500 units or more, it might be better to go with the boat shipping, or you might still be able to do it through air. And if the pricing's right and you can do it through air, go for it. You know, you can get the objects much quicker, get them to Amazon quicker. Especially if you start selling well, you don't really want to run out of stock. So there's certain times where you might use air over boat. If you've ordered a lot via air, you've got them in, they're selling steadily, and you can predict when you're going to run out. Then get a shipment by boat, so when it's there for that time. That's great. You'll save some money there. But if you're running out quick, you need some quick stock, get it by air, no problem. Might be a little bit more expensive, but it's better than running out of stock. So we've got the product, we've tested it, we've found it. Now you're going to want to get some labels designed. So again, for the first 10 units, 20 units, you might just want to sell it as it is in its white box without any brand on it, which is how you'll get it from them. Sometimes they'll even say it with their brand, but I wouldn't recommend that because you're going to want to change to your brand eventually. So, Fiverr.com. Most of you have probably heard of this. people will work for you, freelance for you for $5 for most things. The more work they do, obviously, the more they charge, but Fiverr for $5. So when you go on Fiverr.com, check the reviews and previous designs, and you can normally get a fantastic deal. So this is where I got my labels designed. I got my logo designed, and they also did my images as well, my mock-ups. So those pictures on Amazon you see, they did all that for me, and I think it cost me about 15-20 quid for all of that. And, you know, it was only some guy in Pakistan, I think it was. And they worked dirt cheap for you, and, you know, at the end of the day, like, he did a great job for me, so I definitely recommend it. I mean, most designers locally are going to charge you, you know, £200, £500, ridiculous prices, and oftentimes they're not even that good, to be honest, from ones I've tried. I've still pretty much kept the same design for all my products from this initial one from Fiverr. So let's take a look at Fiverr.com. So what are we looking for? Product labels. So here we go, lots of different things. So they make supplement labels, can labels, you know, images, creams, anything, you know. So if we were doing the meat thermometer, we might just want a box like this. And they could design that for us. You know, perfect. And that looks like a good image. So once they've done this, branded it for you. And you can work with your suppliers as well and get the information needed to go on the box. They'll tell you whether certain like warnings or things like that are needed. And that comes into the supplier being knowledgeable again. I mean, if they don't know what needs to be on the box or on the instructions, then, you know, they should be knowing that. So that's a bit of a warning sign, a bit of a red light. So again, try different suppliers, try different ones. So in my case, they made the label for me for my product and gave me mock-ups very similar to this, like things around it, things like that. And you can go through them. Oh, there is actually a meat thermometer. So nice little box. Again, once you get into bigger MOQs, bigger orders, your product starts selling well, like your suppliers will do custom things like this, like a wooden box. You can then start experimenting and really branding it yourself then. So like all those products on Amazon, they just show a picture of the thermometer. They probably could just come in a white box, something like that. But if you show a picture like this, it really makes yours stand out. But of course, your supplier's not going to do a wooden box like this if you're only ordering 50 units. You're going to need to go into the bigger ordering quantities for that. So start simple. Just get the product designed. And, you know, look for a good one. One that you like the look of. I mean, this guy will do pretty much anything. And the basic one, $3.98. So that's just for a basic design. So £4, you can test this guy out, see if it's any good. If you want to go for the more one, 3D images. So he'll give you all the mock-ups and stuff for 15. And limited revisions as well, so if you don't like it, go back, tell him, he'll sort it out. That's the premium one. Looks like it's just quicker. So. Yeah, and he gives you the source file if you pay the extra one as well. So you can do your own changes, change your text and stuff. So yeah, so just go through the different people on Fiverr, find someone that looks good, cheap. I mean, they're absolutely everywhere now. A lot of people make a lot of money on here as well, even though they charge cheap prices. They all upsell you in the end. You know, the basic one is $5, £5, £5. Well, £3.98 English money. But then they'll charge you more for this. Oftentimes it is worth doing the extra one. Like I did, 15-20 quid mine was. But I got my label, logo and all the mock-ups, which was fantastic. So I couldn't really beat that, to be honest. So let's go back to this. So yeah, once you've got the labels designed, give them to your manufacturer and they will create the product for you. They'll put those labels on the product, around the box, whatever you want, and they'll show you different ways they can do it, different prices that it will cost you, and then you've got your product pretty much fully designed then. Again, get a unit sent to you, check it out, make sure it looks how it's meant to, make sure they haven't messed it up. Oftentimes you can get them just to make it, and then send you photographs of it from all angles, etc. You can normally tell if it looks how it's supposed to. Okay, so once we've got the product, we're going to want to get it live on Amazon. So we're going to have to register on Amazon. It's very simple. You need a bank account and a registered company. So the company in the UK to register is £15. Very simple to do it. But obviously varies in what country you're in. I don't have any experience registering a company in the US, for example, or Spain, for example, but I'm guessing it's very similar. So just search Google, find out where you need to register your company, sort that out. That will normally take a day, and then you'll have that done. Get a bank account. To be honest, I started using my personal account until I knew that I was making any sales. If you're serious though, probably use the company account, make a company account up. Just make a separate account for all the Amazon stuff. Put £100 in it and then just use that for now. And that will stop you from overspending on your budget as well. So yeah, just go to Amazon. If you search Amazon seller account on Google, follow the link, and then you can create a seller account there. And it's all very simple, all very self-explanatory. Amazon makes it very easy. So I'm not going to go through all that on this webinar. So adding the inventory to Amazon. So as we spoke about, FBA is fulfillment by Amazon. You send the product directly to their warehouse. You can get it sent from the manufacturer to you to start with. Check the products out before you send them over to the warehouse, that's fine. Most times now I know my suppliers, so I just get them sent straight from there to the warehouse. I never touch them anymore, which is good. To start with, you can do fulfill by merchant if you like, and you've probably got the 10-20 units at your house now, checking them out maybe. So if you want, you can upload the product to Amazon as fulfill by merchant instead of FBA, and then when it sells, Amazon will tell you, give you the person's address, and you will then go and ship it yourself, go to the post office and send it. So a quick look at that. So I've got it up here. So when you log into your Seller Central account, you'll have inventory at the top. You can go inventory, add a product, and you'll get this up. I just went into this diet and nutrition one. I don't even know what it is, but it will ask you for a category. Put it wherever it is. If it's kitchen and home, meat thermometers, put it there. Give it a name. Manufacturer will be you. Fill in all of this stuff. How many you're selling. If we go to the advanced view here. So here is where you'll sell. I want to dispatch this item myself to the customer. So that would be fulfilled by merchant. So if this item sold, you would ship it. If you do this, I want Amazon to dispatch it. Then once you've created this, once you've filled in all these details, again, get all this stuff from the supplier. They'll tell you the legal disclaimers, things like that. Or you can make your own if you're experienced in that area. Prices, all this stuff. Images, as we said, get these images from the guy from Fiverr doing your stuff, or directly from the supplier if they're good. Maybe a mixture of both. If you're experienced in making your own, then go for it. Those will be the images that appear on Amazon. These will be the bullet points at the top of Amazon here. This will be the product description here. So you can fill all that in. Put in your keywords. So search terms will be what the user would be searching for. And that will determine what your product will appear for. So for example, meat thermometer, kitchen thermometer. You don't normally have to repeat keywords, so don't worry about that. So meat thermometer, kitchen, that'll be fine. You can add up to five rows of those, so add those in. And then more details. Make sure to fill these in, because this will determine how much Amazon will charge you to store them. They will recheck it anyway when it gets to the warehouse. But if you use an FBA especially, fill these in. It'll make your life a lot easier to start with. I don't fill in all this stuff, just fill in what's relevant to you. This is all optional stuff anyway. and then then save the product, and then it'll become live. So if you're doing the fulfill by merchant, dispatching it yourself, then the product will be live on Amazon within 10 minutes. And it'll be there with all your images. You can check it out, check the listing out, and that's that. And that's how easy it is to get it on Amazon. So we covered that. So how to start getting sales. Obviously, once you upload your product, you're going to have no reviews. Even if your product looks amazing, you're going to need at least a few reviews just for some social proof. You don't actually need very many. 10 to 20 reviews is enough to start getting some sales. Then there are ways to get more. So I could go very, very in depth on this. Systems and things to get reviews, follow-ups, things like that. But for now, ask your friends and family, tell them what you're doing, get them to buy your product. Take them out for lunch if you like, whatever. Amazon are very strict now. There used to be a lot of sites where you could give away units in exchange for reviews. They're very against that now. In the UK, I believe it's still okay, but Amazon.com, they've cracked down on that now. So technically, you cannot offer a discounted product for a review anymore. But ask your friends and family to buy it from Amazon. Leave you a review if they like it, for instance. Just cover yourself there. So try and get 10, 20 reviews, that way. Then your product's going to look a lot more appealing. There's going to be a lot of social proof. Maybe get your friends to take some pictures of the item and upload that with their review. That always looks good. And yeah, sales. So we're going to want to get some sales flowing. Keep the price cheap to start with. Even if you're not making any money to start with, try and break even. Your price will probably be a little bit lower than some of the best sellers then. You'll be able to start stealing some sales that way. So Amazon's algorithm and keywords. So obviously if I'm going to Amazon to search for a meat thermometer, I want to appear on the first page. If I'm on page 100, that's no good. I'm not going to get many sales that way. So I'm going to want to appear on the first page. So Amazon's A9 algorithm takes care of that, of where you appear. So mostly it's to do with sales and conversion rates. So if you're getting a lot of sales and your conversion rate is good, meaning your conversion rate would be if 10 people visit it a day and 3 people buy it, then that's a 30% conversion rate. So if 100 people are viewing your product a day and only 1 person buys it, that's a 1% conversion rate. 99 people are not buying it. So there must be a reason they're not buying it. Maybe it's your images, maybe it's your texts, maybe you've got 0 reviews on it. So as it goes on, Amazon will work your product up the rankings. So that's why we do that. Get your friends and family to buy it. Buy it full price if they can. That'll be the best option. 10, 20 reviews on it, 10, 20 full price sales on it. That'll start getting you pushed up a bit. You'll then start seeing a few natural organic sales. No problem. And Amazon's algorithm will take care of that. A lot of people say check the reviews on your competitors, which is good advice, of course. But I find in some areas, some products have thousands of reviews, but that doesn't necessarily, and they may be dominating the area, but then you'll see other products in the top 5, top 10 in that category that have, 10 reviews, 20 reviews, 50 reviews, and maybe the bestseller will have 1,000, 2,000 reviews, which is fine. I mean, you're not going to compete with that competitor until you've got similar amounts of reviews, but oftentimes, especially in a saturated market, people will still buy your product. For example, if it's a supplement, people have already tried the other ones, they want to try something else. They see yours, 20 reviews on it, it's new, it looks good, good images, good text, they'll buy it, Okay. So let's have a quick recap of what we've gone over so far. So let me just ask you all, are you enjoying the webinar so far? Yes, amazing. Yeah, it looks like you're all loving it at the moment. That's good. Hopefully you can all see that it is possible to start a business like this. Obviously this isn't a get-rich-quick scheme, even though you can get rich quick, I suppose. But you must follow the process. So, we've covered how to find a profitable, sourceable product to sell. So we covered how you find a good selling product, how we can find a place to source it, and how you can get it into your lap, basically. We covered a way to get your logos and labels designed on the cheap. So using Fiverr.com. There are many other sites and quite a few other ways to do that, but that's the way that I use to start, and it works. And how to start getting some sales. So once you've got reviews, once you've got a low price, things like that, you will start getting some sales come through your product, no doubt. And if that's all you're looking for, that's fine. So this will get you some sales, but this will not get you to the next level. You can start earning a little bit of money on the side doing what I've already taught you, that's fine. But if you really want to hit 5, 6, 7 figures on Amazon, there are some other things you need to be doing, and you do need to work a little bit harder. So there is a next level. So let me ask this to the group. Who wants to take this to the next level? We're talking 5 figures a month, 6 figures a month, 7 figures and beyond. So when I say 5 figures, 6 figures, you can do these figures in a month. Like this, not just yearly figures. I've seen Amazon sellers doing over $1 million a month. I think it was 1% I read somewhere, or maybe 0.5%, something like that. They do over 100 million a year on Amazon. So there is insane potential on that. So how can we take this to the next level? Introducing Amazon Assault. So Amazon Assault is a course that I sell. Yes, I do sell a course at the end of this webinar, and I hope you hear out my pitch. Obviously, you know now you can start a business on Amazon. You know that the process is quite easy to follow. My course specializes in that especially. I want to take you from a total beginner to someone who's outselling advanced sellers on Amazon. I know for a fact that this course can easily get you to the 6 figures a month mark. I've seen it happen with my clients. I've done it myself. So what is Amazon Assault? Amazon Assault is what I believe to be the most in-depth, comprehensive course on selling on Amazon that is currently available. I've been doing this a few years now. I've bought all the courses on selling on Amazon. I've been on all the forums. I've seen everything, all the groups, even the mastermind groups. I think this Amazon Assault course is literally the most in-depth, comprehensive course. You're not going to need anything else if you get this course. It takes you right from the beginning to very, very advanced tactics on selling on Amazon. You'll know why certain sellers are selling well, even though they've got low reviews, why others aren't, even though they've got a lot of reviews, why some people are able to maintain their business on Amazon, and why some people just wither away within a couple of months. The free training that you just watched literally covers only about 5 to 10% of selling on Amazon. And as I said previously, that will get you a few sales a day. So if that's all you're looking for, that's fine. But if you really want to take your business to that next level, then you're going to need to do some key things to rocket your business. So literally, I've outlined every step in this course, so it's simple to understand. They're all videos. If there's anything kind of advanced or tactical, I actually record my screen and show you myself doing it. So my clients who I teach Amazon to pay me $3,000 to $5,000 a month, most of them, and I help them start their business, maintain and grow it on Amazon. So I noticed that I was getting, the exact same questions all the time, the exact same sticking points, and pretty much my days just consisted of regurgitating information over and over and over again. So I actually created this course for them. So I figured I was giving out the same exact information every single day, and really I wanted to help my clients with less sticking points and things like that, rather than just regurgitating the same thing over and over again. I mean, it gets very boring for me. So I created this course, Amazon Assault, for them. So basically when a client registers with me, I'll give them this course for free. They follow through. Pretty much they get the whole business model, how to do everything off the bat. As soon as a client comes to me, if I get a few clients saying the same sticking point or the same problem they're having, then I do actually add videos to the course. So it's getting updated all the time. This is the reason I think it is the most comprehensive course on selling on Amazon. It's continually evolving all the time. Obviously I'm getting feedback from my clients that are using it all the time, and I've seen them create businesses from it. I've done it myself many times. So I made the whole process. I've got all of its nuances in there. So my time with the clients is now focused on their problems. If the problem comes up multiple times, it's added to the course. Pretty simple. It allows me to expand the course continually. And to be honest, I'm at a point now where the questions coming back are minimal. I don't get the same questions back a lot from my clients. So that's why pretty much this course is 100% in depth. Covers pretty much everything you'll need. I mean, you're not going to need another resource after this. So this course is the exact process that myself and my clients have used to start multiple six-figure Amazon businesses. Quite simply, it works. I've followed it many times. I could follow the exact same process when I start a business, when I maintain that business, and when I grow that business. And I've used these same processes to help my clients. For instance, my client Charles, he's selling 10,000 a month in his first month, I think it was, 9,000 in his second, and now he's maintaining and growing that business. So the process works. I've done it, my clients have done it multiple times. So let's have a look inside Amazon Assault. So this is what you'll get if you buy the course. So there's 12 huge modules with more than 45 lessons, taking you from a complete beginner to easily competing and outselling advanced Amazon sellers. So guys, this free training takes you up pretty much to adding your product on Amazon, and then that's where the work really begins. That's where the key things you need to know begin. Selling on Amazon is not necessarily about just having a good product. That is where many people go wrong. This is why I teach find a product that's already selling and we do it better, and I'll show you exactly how to do it better, how to have better follow-ups, for example, how to make your listing really stand out, and pretty much everything in depth that you need to outsell these advanced sellers. So along with that, you get access to the private study group. So in our private Amazon study group, we all work together. We share ideas, advice, downfalls, where you've gone wrong, things that you found doubled, tripled your sales, things like that. So that's perfect to make sure you're on the right track for every step of the process. I recommend as you're following along with the course, you're always posting your ideas and things into the private study group. So if anything looks wrong, we can all help each other straight away. Rapid expansion strategy. So we follow how to rapidly expand your Amazon business into the six figures and beyond. This module can even be used to sell your products off of Amazon. So we go pretty in depth in that module. It's not just based around Amazon. We do figure out how to drive traffic from external sources, things like that. And that is really something that a lot of Amazon sellers aren't doing at the moment. So we'll show you how to do that properly. Access to the coaching calls. So we'll have weekly coaching calls. You'll be able to get access to all of these on the go. Many students have the same problems. Many of my clients have the same problems, as I said. So you'll see how we all work together to obliterate them, to get past those roadblocks that many of you are having. And we'll do that live on the coaching calls. So that's a great way to get your questions answered, things like that. A few bonuses we chuck in. Bonus number 1 will be access to our exclusive discount funnel. So this is a funnel we use to drive traffic externally to Amazon. I'll give you my exact funnel. All you need to do then is literally just edit the funnel for your product. So just edit the title, change the photo, pretty much it. And then you'll be driving external traffic. And we go really, really in depth into this in the course. So you'll see exactly how we do that step by step. And I'll show you along with my screen. So the next bonus, access to our exclusive opt-in funnel. So this funnel we use to rapidly build a large, hungry audience ready to buy your product and skyrocket your rankings. So this is very, very key on Amazon. Again, they always say the money's in the list, and in this respect, it really, really is. And the last bonus is Killer Copy Formulator. This is a copywriting course. It's focused directly around how to write great Amazon listings, headlines, bullet points, descriptions, things like that. How to HTML edit them, things like that. Facebook adverts, and a lot more. So that will help you sell your products, whether you're selling on Amazon, off Amazon, whether you're writing emails, things like that. So is this for you? If you don't have money to invest, then you should not buy this course. I'm not telling you to spend your last few bucks, few pounds on this course. That's not what I want. Think of this as an investment for yourself and your business. You must follow the steps. Do not just buy this course for entertainment. Do not buy it if you're not serious about running and starting a business. That's not what this course is for. Realize that time is money. You can put a few years into this through trial and error. Like I did that myself, and maybe you'll get to a similar position, maybe not. But realize I've condensed literally everything I know and do into this course. I've tested it multiple times with myself and clients, and I even follow the course when I'm starting something new. You know, we all forget things as we go along. I do actually follow on, quick review the lessons, things like that, print out the presentations, just to make sure I'm not missing anything. So what I want to do now is show you a sneak peek inside the course, so you can see exactly what you're going to get. So once you buy the course and log in, you'll come into the Amazon Assault login area, membership area. As you can see, the 12 chapters. We've got the recap section first. You can rewatch the webinar whenever you like, and a quick welcome video. So these are all videos. Each section often has bonuses in, for instance, the funnels, things like that, emails, follow-ups, text, whenever you need it. So chapter 1, advanced product selection. We go over the perfect product, advanced automatic product discovery, meaning the way I now find products. In the webinar was the first way I did it. It's kind of outdated now. This is how to do it automatically, how to make sure your products meet the criteria automatically, and pretty much it just jumps products out into your face and you can just pick one. Forward view hacking, so how to kind of look at trends, things like that, to find out how your product's going to sell, fill in the gaps during the year, things like that. Analyzing competition, we're going to go in depth into the competition there, figure out how we're going to beat them step by step. In-depth sourcing, we really go in depth into great suppliers, what makes them good suppliers, things to look for, etc. Sample messages and emails for success, so I actually give you the messages and emails that I use to talk to the suppliers. That kind of gives you great results from the start. I figure out how to get them only 10 units to start with, even if their minimum order quantities are really high, etc. So you can just use those emails yourself, download them from that section. Don't be afraid to switch it up. So we talk about switching up suppliers when you shouldn't do it, things like that. Kick-ass design, so what to aim for in your designs. We go over ultimate logo and label design, step by step, everything you need, like really in depth. The keys to winning images, exactly what you need in the images. We look at some competitors, we look at some good sellers on Amazon and figure out why their images are better than others. Barcodes and legal design, we go over all the legal stuff kind of that you need there, so that's a good section. That's why I put don't skip it. You don't want to get in trouble later on. Amazon registration, actually go step by step, things you must have, and the steps to get in and gated. So if you want to sell in Amazon categories like jewelry, health and personal care, beauty, things like that, you have to get ungated. I show you the easy way to do this. I've done it many times. I've done it for my clients many times. I've never had anyone not get ungated, but I have heard about on the internet many people not being able to do it, and that pretty much halts their business straight off. So if you're interested in any of those categories, that's a must-have. Competitor dissection, a very big video, this one, about how we look into our competitors, automatically find their buyer keywords, things like that. Pretty much scrape their listings for all the information we need, what you need to do to make yours better. That is a big in-depth section, that one. And that is only one video, but it's a long one. Getting your product live. So again, what you need before proceeding. I'll show you a step-by-step video of how I add a product from pretty much beginning to end. FBA versus FBM. We talk about when and why you should use each one. How to do your keywords. Pretty much this uses the competitor dissection to find their buyer keywords. We use automated tools for that. How to sort them out then into your listing, where to put them, etc. to get ranked by Amazon. And I lastly cover manually creating FBA labels. So when you send stock to Amazon, you'll have to create these labels, and I get a lot of clients come up saying they can't do that. So that's another step-by-step one there. Now we come into the more advanced sections. So we go gaining traction and algorithm hacking. So Amazon's A9 algorithm pretty much determines your sales overall. So we look at rocketing reviews, ways to get reviews quickly, fast when starting out. The free training covers this very, very briefly. So we understand in the Amazon algorithm as well. I'll go into what makes the Amazon algorithm work, how you can manipulate that for your gain, basically. Intense pricing strategies, so we go into when and why you should raise your prices, things like that. And lastly, sales acceleration, so a very exciting section, that one. How to get your sales rocketing straight away, how to get your product jumping up to the rankings and jumping up to page 1 pretty much for your keywords. Amazon PPC, again, another in-depth section. We didn't cover anything here now in the course. We briefly covered some of this at the top, but all this advanced stuff is all new. Advanced automated campaigns, we go into Amazon PPC automated campaigns. PPC is pay-per-click, if you don't know. You can pretty much throw money away to Amazon if you're not doing this right, so very important sections. Manipulating manual campaigns, so how to change the advanced automated campaigns into manual campaigns, how you can lower your cost per click, things like that, and make profitable Amazon ads basically. Covering lightning deals as well. Lightning deals allow you to rocket your sales more, get you up the rankings, and if used right, they will help you beat competitors. Flourishing follow-ups. So we've got customer follow-ups, very important section, this one again. Customer acquisition, how you're going to get customers, basically their email addresses which are hidden on Amazon, things like that, so you can build your own list off of Amazon as well. This obviously is something that a lot of people don't do on Amazon. That's why so many Amazon sellers are scared of getting banned, things like that. They don't have a backup. This allows you to do that. And also when you're releasing new products, this is then a no-brainer once you've done this section. Feedback surveillance, advanced tactics, how to kind of filter your feedback so you're only getting 5 stars, things like that. You know, how to get good reviews, how to monitor this automatically so you're alerted when you get bad reviews, things like that, so you can keep on top of it. Rapid expansion strategy. So we go over branching out, what you're going to do next. We'll talk about the Amazon vendor program. I have been in the Amazon vendor program, so I know the benefits, advantages, disadvantages. So we talk about when and where and why you should become an Amazon vendor. How to enter retail. We look at rocketing your sales off of Amazon into the retail sector, how you can leverage Amazon to do that. So we go in depth into that. And another advanced section here, very in depth into sales funnels and Facebook ads. So this is very exciting. No Amazon course really covers this as I've seen. So we look at how you can make sales funnels off of Amazon, how you run Facebook ads, how we target things like that, how we get low conversions, and then you run your traffic through those sales funnels onto your Amazon listing, pretty much sending you to bestseller. I'll give you the funnels I use that you can download there. All you need to do then is edit to your product, and that's it. That will run itself. So a good section there again. Endgame. This is the end game. So once you get to this section, you'll have the knowledge. You probably will be making decent sales there, and you'll be making some good money. So we'll talk about selling your business, how you determine your business worth, when and where to sell Amazon businesses. You don't just want to go through normal brokers, things like that. So we cover that in depth. And the Amazon Money Spinner. This is a very exciting section. This is pretty much how I manage my clients every month, earning $3,000 to $5,000 per client each month. I'll go over exactly how I did that there, like how you can do it, what you should be looking for. Troubleshooting section, things like how to contact Amazon, things like that. And the bonuses will be Killer Copy Formulator, the funnels, emails, things like that, chucked in there. As we do the coaching calls, they will be included in here as well. You'll be able to get a link in here once we start the coaching calls, and you'll be able to join them and see the old coaching calls. So yeah, that's a deep, in-depth look into the course. So we do a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you're on the fence about buying this course, you're not sure, then we do offer a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you don't like the course or don't get the results, don't worry, you will. Then contact our support at amzheroes@gmail.com, and I will sort you out a full refund. So amzheroes@gmail.com. If you have any support queries, questions about the course, contact me there. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. However, let me just mention there is a catch to the refund policy. You must show me that you actually attempted what we teach in the course and that it didn't get you results. I don't want people taking advantage of the refund policy here just to get the course for free. I see that a lot. People basically buy the course, download all the videos, refund it the next day. I don't want people doing that. That's ripping me off. You know, I've put a lot of work into this course. It will make you a lot of money if you follow it. So, you know, as long as you're going to take action on the content, you will be covered by the money back guarantee. So this is for people who are actually serious about building an Amazon business and are just going to follow the steps, you know. If you're going to buy it just for entertainment, going to buy it to leak it on the internet, things like that, then this money back guarantee is not going to cover you for that. You have to just show me that you've actually attempted what's in the course. And if for any reason you don't get results after attempting it, just show me that you've actually tried to implement some of the stuff and didn't get results, and then I'll give you a full refund, no problem. So you have two options to buy in the course. The study course is $997. This is a one-time payment, that's it. If you're struggling with that amount, then contact me again at amzheroes@gmail.com and we can sort like a more longer term payment plan. But again, this is an investment. If you can't afford the money, don't buy it, then it's not for you. As I said, my clients pay me $3,000 to $5,000 a month, and that's every month pretty much, and they get access to this course, and you know, this is pretty much all they would actually need. It's just that they have me there for support as well, and that's their main thing. So with the study course, you get access to the whole course, access to the study group as we spoke about, to the coaching call recordings and all the bonuses. So everything I listed on previously and everything I showed you and went through, you get all of that with the study course. So if that's what you're looking for, then that's the best option for you. The Study With Us course, that's your second option. You get everything on the left, all of that in the study course, but you also get 6 weeks of working directly one-on-one with me. So we'll have weekly coaching calls together, just one-on-one, and pretty much we'll work through exactly all your problems, where you're struggling, your next steps, things like that. So that's very exciting. As I said, my clients pay me a lot of money for that. So that's very good. I'll give you my personal email address as well, so you can email me whenever. If it's not time for our coaching call, just drop me an email. I'll get back to you, no problem. You'll get access to the live coaching calls. So in the study course, you can access the recordings. With the Study With Us course, you actually get to go on the live coaching calls, so you can ask your questions there, ask your problems, talk about tactics, tips, tricks, things like that. And you'll get access to top students. So my top clients, my big sellers, we'll organize some live trainings with them, some live calls, and you know, you can ask them directly questions and myself, so that's great. We can all share ideas, we share advanced level tactics there, so that's all very good. So there's your two options. If you're thinking about joining the course, remember you get the money back guarantee. Make sure you're actually serious about starting this business. Make sure you're going to attempt what's in the course, and that guarantee will cover you. Again, if you want to split this into a payment plan, then drop me an email, amzheroes@gmail.com, and we can talk about sorting that out through PayPal, something like that. So you can buy this from amzheroes.com/Amazon Assault Sales. So go there. Basically, I'll go over the course content again. You can rewatch kind of this section of the video. I'll go over some testimonials, show some of my clients' results, things like that. And yeah, this course, if you really want to take your business to 5-6 figures a month, you know, sell your business in the future for millions, this course is absolutely perfect for you. We go through everything from the start to finish, really, really in depth. As I said, the free training covers maybe 10% of selling on Amazon. That gets you finding a product, things like that. But actually knowing how to sell on Amazon is a different thing. We didn't really cover that at all. We go through a lot of advanced tactics. But you know, I keep everything simple. I record everything. I record my screen if there's ever anything that's a bit complicated that my clients have had trouble with. And remember, this is continually evolving as well. Whenever, for instance, you're reporting a problem, some other people report that same problem, I'll add new videos so we can prevent that in the future. At the moment, though, I pretty much think this is 99% complete course on Amazon. Only as things change will I release new videos now. When Amazon's terms of service change, things like that, that causes us problems occasionally. This is obviously up to date with the most released terms of service. So yeah, guys, check that out. Check out that page, amzheroes.com/Amazon Assault Sales, and I'll see you on the other side. Thanks for listening, everyone. Bye bye.